Hey everybody, how you doing out there? It is Falcons Friday. The Falcons come home for their first appearance at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Will we see the starters for a long period of time? How good will Desmond Ridder do in his first opportunity to start the season as an Atlanta Falcon? And most of the fans are talking about bringing Julio Jones back. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, how you doing today? It is Friday, August 18th, and we are finally seeing some Atlanta Falcons football here in the ATL tonight as our Atlanta Falcons have their preseason opener against the Cincinnati Bengals. This is your Uncle Steve here on Uncle Steve's Lounge. Don't forget to please like the video as you guys and gals are coming in. And don't forget to subscribe. Excuse me, if you haven't already, hopefully you have, but subscribe to the channel so when we get out here in the season in the next couple of weeks, we can get notifications of when I'm going to pop in and come in. The plan is to do, as the season starts, we're going to always do our Friday brunch where during the regular season, we'll have our picks for the week. Then we'll have Sunday after the game, post game. I'll get back with you all as far as times on that is concerned. And then, of course, we have the Monday minutia where we put all the things together after we take a deep breath after Sunday and figure out what are these Falcons doing. But today is a great day because we actually have football. And yes, it's preseason, but it's still football. What are you looking forward to today? What are you all trying to see in tonight's game against the Bengals? Obviously, first time we're going to see Desmond Ridder out here to start a season, to see how much he's grown. Are there things that we see that we haven't seen in practice? How is he going to mesh with some of the newer characters, the Mac Hollis, the Bijan, however I don't want to make Mama too mad. She says Bijan, but he said he's cool with Bijan, so we'll whatever. So anyway, how he's going to blend in, how the offensive line is coming. Is Matthew Bergeron going to be that finally that last piece of the offensive line we need to kind of make this thing gel in the front? And how the defense, can the starters replicate what the second and third stringers did last week in Miami? All those questions are just at the top of my mind. So I want to know, what do you want to see in tonight's preseason game? Initially, right off the bat, I just want to say this. I pray for no long-term injuries. Somebody was printing up in Atlanta Bird Gang and welcome all the folks from in there. But somebody was coming, oh man, the Falcons are just jinx. The Falcons everybody's getting hurt. Everybody's, the depth is already leaving. Folks, that in every team, on every squad, on every NFL organization, there are going to be people that gets hurt. This is football. This is not baseball. Everybody's going to get hurt. Folks are going to get hurt today. We probably going to have somebody to get nicked up today. I'm not saying that to wish that on folks, but it's a physical sport. People are getting tackled. Do you know this is probably going to be the first real live hit Desmond Ridder will take today? Let's hope he doesn't. But more than likely, this is the first probably physical time he's get hit. Yeah, it's great in the press conference to say, yeah, I'm ready to get hit. But we really don't want him to get hit that much. This is the guy that you're connecting your hopes and dreams of to make the playoffs this year. We don't want him to get hit that much. Nice, tough guy talk, but let's give a clean pocket for our buddy Dez today. The debut of Bijan Robinson. I'm hoping we get to see him a little bit today, hopefully to see if some of that stuff in practice can translate to the field today, and especially being at home. Woo-wee. If he goes around that corner and goes 10 yards, I would pull him off the field and say, let's save him for Carolina. And matter of fact, a lot of people are going to do that way. Kyle Pitts. Is Kyle Pitts going to see the field today? They brought him on slowly and haven't rushed the process with him. Is he going to do a lot? The defense, as far as the defense is concerned, just to kind of see where they're going to be. There's not going to be any Joe Burrow sightings today. I'm sure he's still resting that calf. But just to see if they can get that same energy and vibe that the backups had last weekend. And again, nothing was perfect. We had a lot of missed tackles out there and a couple of pass interference calls with the defense last week. So the points tell otherwise, which is actually what it's all about, keeping the other opponent's points lower than yours. But there are some things to clean up as far as that's concerned. I'm sure Arthur Smith is taking care of that. So that's where I want to go. And for my off subject, I have kind of gotten to the point where and I apologize, y'all. I have kind of come to the point where as far as this signing Julio Jones thing is concerned, I'm not sure where that came from and why are we talking about that 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away from starting the regular season, why that's a talking point. But I just don't get it. We have finally, in the last 2 seasons, kind of gotten rid of all the, and I won't say demons because we had some decent times and decent things with the players, but we've gone into a new era of Atlanta Falcons football. Why are we trying to go back and get the past? And that's not just Julio. That's Matt Ryan coming back as a quarterback coach, or even backing up Ridder, Mohamed Sanu coming back to do something. Before he was signed by the Panthers, Deion Jones coming back. I understand that they were part of one of the most exciting times in franchise history. But that doesn't mean that the 2016 version that excelled is going to be the same what we see in 2023. So because of that, I just have to be against that. And one of the reasons I brought it up, I usually read Blog and Dirty. So great stuff. I know our friend Lisa Shepard is in that group. But Nick Halden wrote a very well-written story about his time Atlanta Falcons brought Julio Jones home. But again, this is Blog and Dirty is awesome. And this is this man's opinion. So I'm cool with opinions. But I just say to myself, but what are we doing that for? I mean, what are we actually doing that for? Do you think he would be the same guy that we had from 2011 to, I'll say, the peak of 2018? Do you think he's going to be even close to that guy? I don't think he will. So that's just my thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts. So we're talking 2 things. What do you want to see in tonight's preseason game against the Bengals? And 2, why it's not a good idea, in my opinion, to reach out Julio Jones or any other Falcons to be a part of this 2023 Atlanta Falcons roster that has their own identity. that are doing their own things. So I just don't see it. Make me change my mind. You can try, but good luck. We'll see how that goes. All right, let's get into it right here. John Brooks, always in the chat, talking to us, said, I want to see how Ritter and Drake and Bijan look, and I want to see what our defense looks like. That's pretty much all the things that I was bringing up. I understand that. And, you know, after we saw that performance from the defense and it whet our appetites to see more of what's going on the defense. I told everybody even before the before the preseason started, and I say that like I told you so, but that's not really where I'm going. But I truly believe this team is going to move and groove to whatever this defense will do. And I truly think the defense is going to play a major part in the success of the Atlanta Falcons this year. So that didn't exactly shock me. They came out the way they did. But man, whatever the game plan was from Ryan Nielsen, good job. Millie is in the house. What's going on, Millie Bills? How you feeling? 330 is here as well. Good to have y'all in the house. Good to see you. Hal Talbot is here. Hello, Uncle Steve. Tonight, I want to see the first team on both sides of the ball dominate and show the NFL we are for real and do not sleep on the Dirty Birds. Rise up. I love the energy. I love that people are coming out, you know, talking about our team in such a way. We the last couple of years, we were fans just of the team to say, yeah, we're down with Atlanta. It might be some struggles, but we're down with Atlanta. I think this year there's a confidence level that the little spots that have shown, a little bit in practice, a little bit in training camp, a little bit in preseason, that has people excited about this. So when I see Hal bring something up like this, this is really awesome to check out. Ray is in the house. What's going on, brother Ray? Good to see you. My other brother, Mark, is here. What's going on, Mark? Y'all make sure, too, after the game tonight, check out Mark and Tidy from Atlanta Bird Game. They'll be on the Bleacher Report post-game of the Cincinnati-Atlanta game tonight. Make sure you get your Bleacher Report app. Check the guys out and ride with them as they take us through some post-game analysis. And they do a great job, did a great job last week. Y'all give them some love. Austin Douglas is in the house. What's up, Austin? Good to see you in the house, as well as Atlanta supporter, always in here. Brother Mark saying again, what's going on? Millie says, Julio knows he's a Hall of Famer. I don't think he's worried about being picked up by just any old team. He just wants a ring to cap it off. And I can respect that. I don't have a problem with him wanting that. I didn't have a problem with him joining Tampa Bay. I didn't care because he wasn't a Falcon anymore, but I don't blame him for wanting to get one last shot at the title with the greatest quarterback to play in the modern era. So why not give it a shot? But as far as we here in Atlanta, that phase has gone. And I'm trying to figure out from some fans' standpoint, are we stuck in the past when we keep talking about what Julio could mean? Yeah, if this was 2016 Julio, I'd run it back in a heartbeat. But let's not forget the circumstances on why he left and how he left. Same thing with Matt Ryan, as people got giddy and happy and started getting real excited about Matt being on the sideline. Matt was coming to visit, man. Matt was going shopping. He probably went to the mall up there on Interstate 85, stopped by just to see what's going on. Slow down on the former players. Winston in the house. What's going on, Winston? Good to see you, brother. Michael says, hey, Julio had his time. He is toast, brother. Mike, you know you don't have to talk me into that. He is burnt toast, let alone toast. He burnt toast. What's going on? Rusty. Rusty's in the house. I want us to fast forward to the regular season. Preseason is a waste of time. Wish they would honestly get rid of it, and I think they will one day. That one day might be soon, Rusty. If y'all remember when they went to the 17-game season, there was talk initially of going straight to 18 games. And I think they kind of had to, pick their battles at the time, the owners. So they ended up saying, okay, let's just do the 17. I think eventually you will see 18, and you may see 2 preseason games possibly in the future. I'm with you. I think at this juncture, it's kind of a waste of time, especially because football is so physical. I remember you writing something earlier this week, Rusty, about the injuries and things like that. And I know it's a huge concern when you see the guys that we've hyped up from free agency, the draft, and everything, and then right before training camp, guys are out for the season already. Saw our former Falcon, Russell Gage, is out for the season there. We lost a few people this week. Ogundeji and Matt Hennessy already gone. It's happening on every team. They might not be the A1 stars, but it's happening on every team. So with you, I must admit, I'm kind of in that position as well. That one Falcon fan, what's going on, man? How you doing today? Said lots of stuff I got to get off my chest. One, no shocker. I want to see Bijan smoke the Bengals defense and get his first TD. 2, the brand new defense sacks the quarterbacks. And 3, DR9 and Kyle Pitts connection. It will be interesting. I would imagine if Kyle Pitts plays, and I haven't seen anything that says he isn't, I would think that they would try to at least try that connection once or twice, because he's probably the major target that Desmond hasn't been able to have as much. I know that we saw a lot of footage down in Miami where he was getting a couple of those things, but just to get that connection fired up for the season, because Kyle Pitts is going to be a big part of this team's success as well. Travis, what's up, sir? Said there's no point to bring back Julio. You're just going to tug at the Julio fans that's going to chant, we want Julio, and that could disrupt team chemistry. And I'll just say this. As much as I love Julio and when he was a Falcon and all of that, what are you truly gaining? Is he somebody that, yeah, physically he might be able to, teach the young cats at receiver, be a great mentor for Drake if he can. But we can't recapture yesterday by bringing him in here this year. I don't think you can. But maybe that's just me. I think it's just kind of you set yourself up for expectations that truly aren't possible. This isn't the same Julio that it was a few years ago. It's just not. James in the house. What's up, cousin? Say, I'm looking to see how the first team looks, plus how the backups do again. I think you're going to see a lot of the backups coming in that second half. That one Falcon fan says Julio is a traitor. He wanted out, so he stays out. When it comes to Matty Ice, he is always welcome back in Atlanta. He is the only dude who cared for the city of Atlanta. I don't care if he's an emergency quarterback. Now, I'll address both of them. I'm giving opposite sides of both of the things you said. Julio, the traitor thing, that's tough. We're basing that on the little call from Shannon Sharp, who, again, I will just hold him responsible for that, because that was a conversation that was supposed to happen behind the scenes. I don't think Julio wanted publicly to be known that he was having issues with the Falcons organization, and he didn't want to be here at that time. I think that was shame on Shannon for that. And I'll say this too. If he wanted to go, why would you hold somebody somewhere they wouldn't want? What are they going through right now in Philadelphia? James Harden. Daryl Morley is a traitor. Not a traitor, but he's a liar. And I don't want to be a part of this organization. Do you want that to play out? That never played out with Julio. The only time you knew Julio was disgruntled was that one phone call. That one phone call doesn't happen, you wouldn't have known anything. So while That's not going to make me feel any better about how things ended. But I also say not quite fair to call him a traitor. Somebody who, I mean, I guess his time had run out, man. That's the bottom line. As far as Matt is concerned, consummate professional, he's not the only guy who cared about the city of Atlanta. That's not exactly true. You had plenty of players, the Warwick Duns, the Roddy Whites, the Muhammad Sanus. When they were here, they were repping well. So I don't think it's fair to stick the label of he was the only one. Was he a great ambassador for the city? Absolutely. Did he play especially during the Super Bowl season and to the top of his ability and took us within inches of championship? Absolutely. But slow down on he's the only one. I just think he was he's the quarterback. As I said, for the 13,227,320th time, the quarterback is the most important position in North American sports. So that particular player is going to get more shine than anyone else. So make sure y'all check that out. Sir Darius in the house. What's going on, man? Dude, and look, you need to tell your boy to slow down with Parkview. Parkview almost put up a 40 burger at halftime. And I was like, come on, man. I know Kale had a decent team, but goodness gracious, they tried to run him off the field up there, man. But congratulations to him and all he has coming up in his senior year. That brother is Mr. Wilson is no joke. Larry is here in the Dixon way. Y'all make sure y'all check out Larry. I'm sure he'll probably have the San Francisco game on tonight on his YouTube channel as he gives live reactions of Atlanta sports. So Coach thinks Ritter needs 1 quarter of work. Really? Are you serious, Coach? I've heard that. And I mean, you could play both sides of that, Larry. I hear what you're saying. I would love to see him get more time, but let's also look, guys are fighting for jobs. Guys are out there. This is the first time since training camp and OTAs that defenses have had a chance to hit folks and really make their mark. I'm not saying you don't give Ritter as much time as you need with the reps. Excuse me. I'm burping because of this very good Diet Coke here. Sorry about that. But you also have to truly think about, injuries and stuff. You do. We've already established he's the quarterback 1. And I say we, the organization has already established that. How much do you need to see from him today, if that's the case? You go out there, see if the offense is moving. Now, if the offense doesn't move, maybe you keep them out there a little bit longer. But you also don't want to be the coach that's leaving somebody out there longer than they should, and they twist the ankle or hurt an elbow or something else horrible happens, and then you'll be the coach and say, "Oh, you shouldn't have kept him out there that long." It's different ways to spin it. For the record, I agree with you. I think he should play a half, but who are we? Coach knows. He's the same coach that team went up and showed out in Miami. If he wins today and shows that the offense and the defense look like they're ready to go September 10th, I don't have a problem with the decision. Scooter is up, said, I'm just interested on how long the starters will play and how affected the game plan will be. I think either way, the game plan is not going to be anything crazy. You're going to probably get the most vanilla game plan that you can have out there. They're not giving anything away. Travis says, as far as tonight, I think Desmond needs to play at least a half. I know a lot of starting quarterbacks don't play much during preseason, but he's not an established starter. He's pretty much a rookie. Again, I agree. Not going to get me to disagree with that. However, if Arthur says this is what we're going to do, folks, he's the coach. I got to take it up with him. Petition to the right. see what he says. I don't know. Billy says, and Julio will Julio ever get that ring? I don't know, but it won't be with us, and that's for sure. So let's kill that thought of bringing him back. Just honor him by letting him retire as a Falcon. That's it. If he wants to come back and retire as a Falcon, I mean, we make the assumption that he wants to retire the Falcon. I was thinking about Crossing Sports, Fred McGriff. There was plenty of thought for me that Fred McGriff wanted to retire as an Atlanta Brave, and he's like, nah, y'all got me the championship, but I'm good. So depends on what he thinks. That would be the plan for me, but I don't know Julio like that. Ghost Peppers is in the house. What's going on, Ghost? Good to see you. Again, as y'all coming in, please, if you're on YouTube, please make sure you push the like button. And those of you on Facebook, make sure you like video so we can get this thing out there and people can check us out as we get greased up for the second preseason game tonight against Cincinnati here in the Mercedes-Benz Dome. Atlanta supporter says, this game, I want to see more of Arthur Smith's scheme. Again, supporter, I'm not sure if you're going to see a lot. You're going to see something, but he's not going to open up the playbook in this game. Too many eyes out there, too much video. Folks are trying to read what you're doing. You're not going to see a whole lot. If you're looking to see some exotic plays and 10 formations in the first half, I have a sneaky suspicion you might want to wait till September 10th. Larry says, in my opinion, training camp is needed. You can't walk through getting adjusted to getting hit and going through full speed. Why would you want teams using regular season games to game training camp rhythm? Because of money, Larry. At the end of the day, the NFL is about money. They have heard the yelling about, as a season ticket holder, I'm paying for these 2 games. I'm not going to be there. My wife will be there tonight. But they are charging the same amount of money for the preseason games as they're charging for the regular season. They're charging the same amount of parking that it costs in regular season for the preseason. We are not going to see the optimal players for the whole game in the preseason. So I'm saying all that to say, yeah, training camp rhythm is important. Getting to know your teammates is important. All of that, the owners could care less. This thing will be down to 2 preseason games probably within the next year or 2. They're definitely not going to hang on to 17 games very long because that's an odd number. I'll be willing to bet you if we're sitting here by 2026, it'll already be on the dockets to go to 18 games and 2 preseason games. Or as Rusty, even if they were talking about, I think that's what Rusty was saying, about even having preseason games. So, yeah, Mike, you know what, Mike, I forgot about that. As soon as I get off here, before I go to work, I got to hook you up. And my apologies. I meant to catch you last time. Atlanta supporter says Kyle Pitts and Drake London will be Desmond Ritter's targets. I won't forget about Matt Hollins and Jonnu Smith. And let's not be upset if all those folks don't get touches today. You would love that if they could, but everybody's not going to get a touch today. Some of the spoils of having different skill sets at positions, when you have Drake and Kyle and Jonnu and Bijan and Tyler and Cordero, who I don't think is playing anyway. But when you have all these people, you can only get so much done. That's even going to be in the regular season, folks. You're not going to see, you might, but I don't think you're going to see a lineup every week where you'll see those catches being distributed the same, where you see the carries for the running back being distributed the same. I think that's the pipe dream to do that, but it also depends on how the game is going. You see something you like during the game, you're probably going to go back to it time and time again. So don't be surprised if you don't see everyone doing that. Stefan's in the house. What's going on, man? Are you going to the game today? No, unfortunately, I do have to work. This is that opportunity. My wife takes advantage of that it'll be her and probably my daughter that go today and get a chance to see the stadium when it's probably not as crowded and whatever, and probably where she doesn't have to deal with her very, very vocal husband sitting next to her yelling her ear out and things like that. But no, next two games, I'll be sitting those out, saving all my energy, strength, and passion for September 10th. But that being said, y'all have a good time. Ghost Pepper says, with all due respect, why is Uncle Shay Shay's nephew Julio a topic of discussion? I be on the Miles and Yaks. You know? Well, you're answering my question, Ghost. I wasn't even bringing it up to make it a topic. I'm like you. Why is it a topic? I mentioned it because it was a actual story in Blogging Dirty that was written. I want to say I think it came out Wednesday, either Tuesday or Wednesday, about reasons why Julio should come back to the team. I'm with you. I don't know why we're talking about Julio. Don't understand why we're talking about Matt. We should be talking about not only the great things the team did last week, but the anticipation of what these guys are going to do today and after today, in my opinion. Anthony Booker's in the house. What's going on, sir? Man, Julio is one of my favorite Falcons, but we got to move on from these former players. Time to rise up with the young cats and turning the page. And that's what I'm talking about. You got to turn the page. We got to show these folks support. We got to start supporting the Pitts and the Ritters and the AJ Terrells and folks like that. You got to start showing these guys some love. And I think it's going to be some different energy with this team. I think you not only did you get a little more veteran presence, but I think some of these guys coming in have a different attitude about things than the Matt Ryans and the Julio Jones. You know, Matt got fired up every now and then. I see some things and hear some things from some of these guys playing now. It's a different energy. And I think Atlanta's going to be satisfied in the end on how this thing's going to turn out. Slim Dollar, what's going on? Atlanta has had one of the most players who retired stay in Atlanta. Matt Ryan is not the only player who cares for Atlanta. What's up, Unc? I ain't seen you in a minute. Yes, Slim, I've been here, man. I'm trying to think that I skipped last week. I think I had some things going on last week. But trust me, come regular season, again, Friday, I'm going to do the Friday brunch, which will be the NFL picks during the regular season. We'll always do the post game on Sundays. Usually I do it at 7 o'clock because I'm at the game most of the time. So, and then Monday, we always have the Monday Minutia. Y'all always make sure y'all check out the Monday Minutia. So that's your chance to take the deep breath from what happened Sunday and really talk about things as opposed to the rapid fire right after the game. James Dockery is in the house. What's up? Rise up from Kentucky. James always representing. Always good to see you in here, brother. Lisa Shepard is in the house. Hey, Steve, it's Falcon Friday. Yes, it is, ma'am. It is. Larry says, I'm streaming commentary of the Falcons game, Braves and Giants on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, my apologies. So y'all check out Larry for the Falcons game tonight, and he will have live reaction on his YouTube channel. So y'all make sure y'all check him out. Slim Dollar says Ritter will most likely get 1 to 2 drives, and if he scores a touchdown on the first drive, they will more than likely sit him. You will increase the chances of your starters getting hurt. And people are trying to act like I understand the need. I raised my hand as somebody to say, because of the lack of experience, notwithstanding the 4 games last year, I would love to see Ritter out there a little bit longer. But there is a part that Slim is talking about that you have to be careful. You have to, you know? So you want to give them some work, but you also realize, hey, these guys got 2 more weeks of practices and things like that. You want to be as well as possible going into week 1. So I agree with you. I hear you. Wallace is in the house. What's going on, man? Said we don't need to see Ritter play a whole half. Okay. And like I said before, depend on what choice you want to make. There are some that say, let's see a half. There are some that say, let's see 2 series. I just happen to be in the camp of, because I know there are so many new faces on that offense that I would like to see how he gels with them. But again, I don't have a problem with people saying yank him after 2 series. It doesn't really matter. Again, it's preseason. Even if Ritter goes out there and he's 0 for 8 for 0 yards, obviously that would light up social media. But if he comes out of the game healthy, at least I'm in a better place. Now, if he's 0 for 8, then that's going to be a whole nother conversation. Millie says, Eagles fans asking, how did the Falcons win so many games last year with Mario at quarterback? All I tell them is Arthur Smith is good, and we're going to show y'all in January. Yeah, Mariota, I just apologize. But you know what? I apologize to a certain extent. I wasn't apologizing because Mariota was our starting quarterback. And at the end of the day, if you wear the brand, I'm going to root for you. If you're riding the logo on your back, I got you. So from that standpoint, I don't apologize because that's my team. And he was our quarterback. On the other hand, yeah, we should have made. I don't want to play the way back game again because that's gets old. But boy, I just wish we would have made that move after the Carolina game because I think we would all feel much better about Desmond going into 2023 than some of us do. And I know there's some of you that are running through the wall for him, and that's fine. I get it. I'm not criticizing. That's fine. But I just wish he would have got an opportunity to do that a little earlier. Anthony Moss is here. Anthony says, what's up, Unc? I want to see how well the offense moved the ball tonight. I'm also keeping an eye out on our rookie left guard, Matthew Bergeron, and how he adjusted the game speed. And I want to see the rookie Clark Phillips on defense get some burn. All those things I would agree with. Hopefully, we can get a chance to see some of that. Yeah, I want to see what Clark is up to as well. Secondary played pretty decent last week. Again, got to keep in mind who was in the game. Chuck is in the house. What's going on, brother? Say late to the party. What's today's question? Today's question is, what do you want to see in today's preseason game? What do you want to see as far as anything specifically? A lot of people are saying they want to see Ritter for a half, some for a quarter. Some want to see Kyle Pitts. Some want to see Bijan. What do you specifically want to see from the Falcons that make you say, okay, that's on my checklist? They took care of that. Let's move on to preseason game number 3. Austin said, it's funny how the Eagles fans just knew Marcus Mariota was going to be a competent backup quarterback. Dude is trash. Yeah, that's their problem. Matter of fact, I'll probably be in full disclosure. My cousin up in Philly, he texted me today, and I'll go pull up his text. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but he literally sent me a text about a couple of hours ago, and he says, is Mariota this bad? Wow, he stinks. And I'm going to tell you guys the same thing I told him. Hey, he's your problem now. Hashtag buyer beware. So that's how I feel about Mariota, man. I could care less about dude now, man. And thank y'all so much. Yeah, if y'all can kindly push the likes, I would appreciate it, man. Get things out there. I appreciate you. Michael says, I feel Scotty Miller is going to surprise some folks. Yeah, Scotty is probably, I don't know why I want to envision him as being that Taylor Gabriel of the team. Some facsimile of that. But if he can do that, I would love it. I would absolutely love it. John says, to be honest with you, I'm glad my high school team takes the team to field tonight. Plus, I get Falcons football tonight. I'm all about it. And I know, as I was talking about Darius and Parkview played Kale, I want to say that was Wednesday, I think. and blew the roof off of them. I know they have the Corky Kale thing for those of you in the local area where they get some of the bigger schools to play. I know they had a couple of games in the bins tomorrow, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And I know locally here in the metro area, in the urban part of town, Frederick Douglass High School, popular high school, goes up against Mays tomorrow at 10 a.m. For the Atlanta Public Schools. So that ought to be a pretty good game. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot of high school games getting ready to kick off because, folks, we almost there. We got high school really kicking off this week. A smidge of college next week. I think it's like 1 or 2 games. And then the huge college schedule is Labor Day weekend, where everybody kind of goes out. Because if I'm not mistaken, let me make sure I got that. Let me make sure I gave accurate information. Well, no, I take that back. Next week, it is a full slate. You got well, not a full slate. I take that back. Next week, you got Notre Dame playing Navy on Saturday and USC playing San Jose State. So you got a couple of games next week. So yes, football is back. Thank goodness. No more boredom. We can get this thing started. Philip's in the house. Say, late when I miss you didn't miss a thing, brother Philip. And if you did miss a thing, just make sure you go back to the beginning and check us out. Make sure you do your like, Philip. I need that if you get a chance to. We're talking about what you want to see in the preseason game today. What you want to see as far as that's concerned. Also, side question about why is this big deal about trying to bring back relics from the Falcons past to come play. More talk has been this year about let's bring back Julio. Let's bring back Mohamed Sanu. Let's bring back Deion Jones. And the common denominator in that, those are guys who were all on that Super Bowl team. And again, Matt Ryan, of course, when they showed him, folks that were ready to go back and pull their Matt Ryan jerseys out of the closet. But at some point, you got to move on. Realize what those guys cost us in their financial situations. It's not personal, but it's time to move on to another era. Can't hold on to that. I think we did a little bit of that in 1998 as well. A lot of folks hung over from that particular team that probably didn't need to. But we were trying to find that Super Bowl feeling back again in 99 and 2000. That's why we ended up getting the number 1 pick in 2001, because we were too busy looking back instead of forward. Wallace says, I saw the game last night. Mariota was doing the same thing, overthrowing receivers that was wide open, but he's not our problem. And that's the one thing I say. But listen, I know a lot of y'all want to talk about Mariota. I say the heck with Mariota. Mariota is no longer a part of our worry. As a matter of fact, in some ways, I hope he gets cut and takes over the starting job of a team we play this year, because that'll be a win that we'll absolutely have if we get a chance to. Philip says, I want to see the same thing I saw last week with better quarterback play. Fair point. Millie says, is anybody else got stuck on adjusting our D-line on Madden 24? I was kind of stuck on where I want to put Calais. Now, my son and I usually get together and do those things sometimes during dead periods. I know he has Madden. I wish he could kind of enlighten you on some of that. I actually don't know, but if somebody knows, please let them know. Francis in the house. Hey, Uncle Steve, I want to see the defense get to the quarterback and our secondary destroy third down plays. That is fair. Get the team off the field, which we didn't quite do as well. We stopped them from scoring on red zone situations, but being able to get off the field on third down, to me, is crucial. We got to start getting that particular part ready. Jared Brown's in the house. What's up, Jared? Say, I want to see improved consistency and efficiency from Ritter and the offense and the defense build from last week. Fair point. If the coaching is anywhere where it was last week, then we should see some good things. Out of your Falcon mind is in the house, John and Mike. They put it down. Just got a chance to see them talk about some of the stuff coming up in the game today. Y'all, please, please, please make sure y'all support our folks over on YouTube. They will be there out of your Falcon mind. They got merch too. So you want to go out there and look your best. Go check them out. Say it's game day, baby. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely. And I wish I was there. I really do. But again, I'm saving my energy, my in-person energy for the games. My wife always dogs me out. Just like, how are you going to do a podcast and you come in and your voice is hoarse and whatever? I said, yeah, but when the game is, I mean, it's like a different switch. And I know in preseason, it's probably a little bit different to get juiced up, but we'll get juiced up, period, because we see the uniforms, we see the players we're going to see in regular season. But I'm just here to tell you, man, September 10th is going to be different. It's a geek up that's different. It's a vibe that's going to be a lot different. But this is kind of this is where you set the foundation. This first game, and then next week, got another game at home. I didn't realize that, too. We were talking about that. They have the next 5 weeks, when they left Miami, literally the Falcons aren't going to leave the state until, what, the 23rd? Because the game is on the 24th. Like something like that. So this is kind of cool that they get all this time, albeit preseason, but just real nice that they get to have this time at home. PJ, what's going on? PJ said the game to see tomorrow is Buford versus Mallard Creek, and boy, Buford has the guy who's coming in for Georgia. His name is escaping me right now, but he transferred out here to Buford. Buford is super duper duper loaded. I think they were number 8, if I'm not mistaken, in USA Today preseason. I think that was USA Today. But they're the number 8 ranked team, number 1 quarterback, number 1 defense. Are they calling him an athlete? One of the guys is number 1 guy at defense athlete. So they got a lot of folks on that team. So y'all make sure y'all check them out. John says, I can't believe we passed up on Clowney. He was a beast at South Carolina. Yeah, but you know what, though? And I didn't mean to even stir this up. I want y'all to think about this. And I want y'all to be for real. Who's the bigger bust? Jadeveon Clowney or Vic Beasley? And I'm going to say again, who's the bigger bust? I'll argue it's got to be Jadeveon. You were the number 1 overall pick. You went down to a Texans team that you should have excelled because you had all that traffic going towards JJ. Don't believe me? Go look at the sack numbers. For a number 1 overall pick and for the years they played, he and Vic have very similar numbers per year. If you average it out. But the difference being, Jadeveon was a number 1 overall pick. He should still be out there dominating and not on his, what is this, his 3rd team? This was his 3rd team. He came in, I think, still free agent now. So, Dixon Wade says, leave Julio and Madden the past. They are your exes for a reason. Let it go. And, you know, as far as the Matt decision, again, it was what Matt, to me, was a little bit more. I understand how people probably could be like, oh, no, not Matt. I mean, Matt just declined, and as all players do, and time to move on. The Julio thing had a little spice to it with all the stuff that happened, but yeah, you're right. Let it go. Jared says, I'd take Matt back if he came back as a quarterback coach. But see, you know, Jared, I just don't think you bring that energy now at this moment. That's so easy to say. And really, does Matt have the skill set to be able to teach young Desmond Ridder? He might be able to teach him how to be a professional, but does he have the skill set as Desmond? I don't know. Does he have the athleticism as Desmond to be able to teach him? I don't know. And not to say that that's a prerequisite for quarterback coaches, as last year we had a running back teaching the quarterbacks. But I just don't, I don't know. I just think you leave the past in the past and let these guys, do their thing. Philip says, I broke my Falcons rearview mirror. Wow. No need to look back for nothing unless it's to retire a former player. That I agree with, Philip. You're on point. Wallace says, I want to see how Bergeron holds up at the left guard spot. That's a pretty important spot. Remember, we've been crying about that spot for the longest, man. We haven't been able to fill that, thinking that Jalen Mayfield was going to come in here and hurry up and do that, but we haven't had a chance to fill that spot. Fair. Clayton says, what's up, Steve? Question, how long do you think the starters playing today? I saw an interview that Ritter said he invited blitz and sacks so he can get that feel. I don't think he had a welcome to the NFL moment yet. I know Baltimore got to him a few times last year, but yeah, I would be careful about bragging about getting hit because some folks might take you seriously. I think we went through this a little earlier. In my opinion, I would love to see Ritter for a half. Wrap them up in bubble wrap and unwrap them in game one. That's my opinion. There are a lot of folks in here that says only a series or two. That's up to you. But my opinion, I think you should see him a half. But it won't. I'm not going to throw something at. Well, I'll be at work, so I can't throw anything at the TV. But I won't be stomping up and down if you told me Desmond played one quarter. Millie says, since he's got a nice O-line, so seeing how our starters play against him should tell us a lot, even if it's for a half. They have a nice O-line? You sure about that? Might be talking about D-line. O-line is kind of trash. And matter of fact, they tried to correct it last year, and they still had issues. They do some okay things in the run game, but their O-line is a little suspect, Millie. Winston says, I want to see Ritter find a rhythm and maintain it. I also want to see one big shot completed. One big shot, I can understand. How much rhythm he has depending on how long he's in the game. Let's hope that if he's not in the game that long, it'll be hard to develop a little rhythm. Winston also says Clowney hasn't done anything in the league. Clowney is the bigger bust. Vic led the league in sacks for a season. And that's what I'm saying. I know, like I said, everybody hears the Jadeveon name. And Jadeveon Clowney, you think of one play in his career, and it's not in the NFL. You think about the one play in the Outback Bowl against against Michigan. That one play. That's really, he based his whole, matter of fact, he might be the perfect example of super overhype. I'm not telling you he wasn't a talent or is a talent. I'm saying, but his hype got to levels that it never should have gotten to because of that one play in the bowl game. He was going to get drafted, probably was going to be top 10. But I think it was a huge reach to grab him at number 1 overall. And years later, now we see, not sure that was the greatest move or not. D says, are you ready to see Ritter? I am, man. I am. And again, for those of you who've been riding with your this summer, I'm not going to sit here and all of a sudden try to pretend like I haven't had reservations about what he's going to do this year. Again, I will support this cat until the cows come home because he's our quarterback. But am I concerned about whether we might be blowing that head up just a little bit? And maybe not blowing his head up, but some of the expectations I've heard from some of the fan base about how great he's going to be, I don't know. Prove me wrong. Come out at the end of the season after a nice run, a NFC South division title, which I think we'll get anyway, and show me that you have the capability to manage an offense out there. Then I'll be the first one to come back and say, you know what, y'all? I was wrong about Ritter. But I still can't help it, y'all. Just years of unfortunately being let down, I must admit, I'm probably a little skeptical about what we're going to see out there tomorrow. I mean, tonight or this season. But I got his back. I hope he proves me wrong. Ghost Pepper says, sounds like your cousin didn't believe how poor Spinaroonie Mariota was. No disrespect, but it doesn't sound like your cousin believes that fat meat is greasy either. Well, in fairness, we're talking about a backup. So it's not like, he has to worry about that aspect. So his team was in the Super Bowl last year. Mine wasn't. Hey. Chuck, co-signing on what I was talking about. Clowney was really famous for one hit. Yep. Ray says Baltimore just signed Clowney. I think this is 14. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I don't know. It's just me, y'all. I just think he's a little overrated. As Ghost agrees. That's what he's saying. King, what's going on? King said, you got to remember Ritter played linebacker in high school. And I hear you. That does, that's great. But it's almost the flip side of Troy Anderson. Troy Anderson played quarterback in college, but that's not doing me any good today because he's not a quarterback. Ritter played linebacker in high school, but that's not doing me any good because he's quarterback. I understand when people say, even Tyler Algier, he played defense, so he's a tough guy. Tough guy stuff, that's cool. They will be coming after Ritter every play. Ritter is a marked man. So I would just be careful of, come on, which is what Ritter is doing when he's saying, y'all come get me. I'm just like, slow down, bro. You haven't arrived yet. I'm ready to get hit. Be careful. Atlanta Bird Gang in the house. That's the other half of the dynamic duo that will be on the report today. Tidy is in the house from Atlanta Bird Gang. Y'all make sure y'all support the Atlanta Bird Gang YouTube channel. He said, yeah, let Matt and Julio stay in the past. If you want to give them maybe an ambassador role in the front office, then cool. But anything past that, nah. And again, you're wasting time. We're wasting energy. And I don't mean that in a topic standpoint, but I mean, you're wasting energy thinking about bringing 2016 to 2023. I used to run it. I used to go. It was a time when I was in the Army. I ran, and I know this is not killing y'all, but I ran an 11-minute 2-mile. Believe it or not, it's a pretty good long distance. There was also a time that I would go to run and shoot after getting off work at 12 o'clock and run till 3 in the morning. There was also a time that I had an apartment and I could move it all by myself in about 6 hours, move all the furniture, all the stuff, and do that. That Steve is gone. That wasn't even Uncle Steve then. That was Steve. That was different Steve. Uncle Steve ain't doing none of that anymore. And it's the same comparisons that you're talking about when you're saying, Matt's not doing what he did in 2016 anymore. Why do you think they sat him down in the middle of a season? Julio is not doing what he was doing from 11 to 18. He's not doing that anymore. Can he still break a tackle and make a touchdown? Absolutely. But he's not even close. In Tampa Bay last year, he wasn't even the third option. So I just caution when we try to bring yesterday back. That's all. Janta, what's going on? Says a series doesn't seem like enough reps to get time. Maybe not, Janta. I don't disagree with that, but I'm not Coach Smith. I don't know what I'm seeing in practices. I don't know what their game plan is. For everybody that says that, I'm not disagreeing. I just am not Coach Smith. So Coach Smith might have a different plan. I would love to see it, but yeah. Ghost says, Uncle, if we were to add anyone else to this defensive front, I would have rather pick up Justin Houston for the low. Yeah, Justin, that was kind of surprising too, that he didn't get as much money as I thought he would. I think he ended up, I think with his incentives, he can get up to $7 million. But I was a little shocked that he didn't break the bank as well. Ngagwe was another person that I kind of thought we had an opportunity, and I know his might have been a little bit higher. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see it, but it could be me. I'm not wrong all the time. I'm not right all the time. That's what I should say. Jared says that's like Clowney's 15. Did he play for Tennessee too? Yeah, not a complete bust, not a Andre Bruce, not a what's the cat drinking the syrup in Louisiana, the quarterback for the Raiders. Jamarcus Russell, not him, not that type of bust. But for a number 1 overall pick, I'm sorry. The expectations should be much higher. PJ say most are ready to get hit until they get hit. That's true. That's true too. Larry says, I can't wait to see Bijan shake someone for a big run or a pass catch. The league isn't ready. And again, if he has one of those moments today, if Bijan gets like a 15-yard run or a swing pass for 15 or 20 yards, same philosophy. Pull him over to the side, grab that, go get your UPS packaging, that little bubble wrap it around Bijan, and tell him, don't you play another down until we kick this thing off. And remember, most of these folks aren't going to play next week anyway. No, most of these guys you're not going to see on the field. Folks, I know I usually go until about 2:30, but this week I had to break it even. I got right about an hour today. This is the Friday brunch with your Uncle Steve. On your way out, again, hit the like button if you can. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, Uncle Steve's Lounge, make sure you subscribe. So that way you can get notifications when we do pop in. We do a lot of live stuff at the Dome when we get ready to while we are at the game. I try to talk to the opponents and the opponents' fans and see what they're talking about. It's going to be a fun year this year. We're going to do some more interactive things at the game when we get a chance to. So y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Tell your friends. Please tell folks about us. I know we're supposed to be doing content creator meetup tomorrow. If you're in the Hiram area at Taco Mat, characters like Big Low and Smitty Sports Machine, Pound for Pound, Out of Your Falcon Mind, we'll be up there just getting together, having a good time. If you got a chance, shoot by, check us out, give your uncle a pound. Buy me some wings. No, I'm just playing. But come up and do what you need to do. But again, enjoy today's game. We'll talk about it. If not Sunday, definitely Monday on the minutia to see how the Falcons did. Hopefully come out pretty healthy and hopefully talk about a successful win against the Cincinnati Bengals. Until then, everyone have a blessed Friday. Enjoy the game today. We'll catch y'all later on. Peace.